decide that you're going to publish or go through an agent or make money doing it, you have started compromising your literature and not speaking the truth before you ever pick up a pen. You screwed yourself out of the truth before you ever started writing. And after years and years and years of thinking about this, I decided the one way that you can maintain your veracity in truth is not to attach it with money. And I do that with, I've run a nonprofit organization called the Smart Shelter Network for 30 years. And it's been funded by two different sources. One was Jimmy Ray, who is the second largest philanthropist in Seattle after Bill Gates, who was a crazy business partner for mine in the early days in Telluride. It just these flukes. And he found out what I was doing. I had contracted environmental illness. I was very near death. By accident, I found first an acupuncturist who knew about chemical sensitivity. She was chemically sensitive. And then Dr. Roland Halsworth, who was a native German, trained in the Baubiologie, which now in the United States is called the Institute for Building Biology. And he said to me, Val, if you're chemically sensitive, you're electromagnetic sensitive, because they're the same thing. And between those two, all of a sudden, I started getting better. And that led to fleeing to the land to get away from all this crap, the power lines and the cell phone towers and the Wi-Fi routers and all that. It actually happened by a very violent accident. I was living with an old musician friend of mine in Montrose, really sick. I mean, really sick. I could only be out of bed 2 or 3 hours a day. And I had just started learning about environmental allergenics, and he turned severe alcoholic, and he turned violent. And one day I came home, and he had come on to this little section of his property that I rented and ripped everything apart. I had to go to the sheriff's office and get a restraining order. And I grabbed my sleeping bag and my pistol and went out into the juniper sage desert and got on the ground and slept. I mean, scared to death. And the next day I got up, and when I was drinking coffee, I was going, there's something missing. There's something missing. And all of a sudden I set the coffee cup down and I went, the pain is gone. Because I was out in the wild, I was away from all this crap. And that was going to begin what is now a 30-year, I reasoned that the construction industry, I built Madonna's business office. I built all the cabinets in the house that used to be owned by one of the Beach Boys. When I worked there, it was owned by the CEO of Time Warner. I was building $60,000 cabinets, and every day I did it, I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker. This stuff was making me sick. I was making all this money. I had this reputation. I had all the time off I wanted. And it was, it's the American dream, and how sick the American dream will make you. And when I set that cup of coffee down, finally being rid of the pain, it took 6 years to get rid of the pain. And I went, the land has healed you, and look at the condition the land is in. And so I picked up a weed cutter and I started going to work, and I haven't stopped in 30 years. And now we've got land stewards. I've got a pamphlet for you. This is our land steward. We've got people all over the western United States doing this work. We're refugees from the technological, quote, civilized environment. We have nowhere else to go but the last refuges where there is no reception. There are no power lines. And when we get there, the bees are fine, the flowers are fine, the trees are fine, we're fine, but the land is in bad shape. And so we fix it. And we've got over 1,000 sites between the Mexican and the Canadian border. And any one of those sites is pristine now.
And people are welcome to come there that want to.
This is wide open land. If you've gone camping around here, you've probably camped on some of it.